take Joaquin Phoenix's The Joker and look at it from a whole different angle. From the situation where, you know, that old saying that the best villains in the world are the ones who don't see themselves as the villain. Now, I'm not saying that the Joker is that guy. I don't even really believe that after seeing this movie, he even thinks of himself as a hero. But you're living in a world like Gotham City where everything is just so corrupt. And for the most part, the thing that goes on and on and on about what's wrong with this city, Gotham City, and wrong with the people is just how people treat each other, how they don't see people if they're at a certain class, how people are constantly just mean to each other. That this person is a hero for the forgotten or the mistreated. But at the same time, he's nothing like you. He cares nothing for you. And as long as he is out there doing what he does, he is a threat to, if you look at him as a symbol. And that was a weird and awesome, most beautiful thing about this movie. It almost played like a hero in a warped sense, because there were elements that you would take any kind of movie, if the same scenarios that were beating down the Joker and the things that were attacking him and the things that were revealed to him, most heroes would rise. If this was Bruce Wayne, he would have that knockdown moment and why do we fall? The pick ourselves up thing. But the way the Joker would pick himself up would be in a twisted way. The way he would walk back home and that dramatic music would play where, you know, in another movie, the hero would rise. He's getting his batarangs together. He's learning his martial arts. He's developing that code not to kill if you were Batman. But this is Joker. He's planning to kill somebody. He's planning to make an example out of people. He's planning on causing mayhem. And then it was the same music that would play in the background, that hero's theme that would happen often. And then you would see him get knocked down and beat down. But the more and more he would get beat down, the more he would slip into madness. The more it was almost beautiful in a way, in a madman's. It was like you were learning. That what you saw in the trailer is like the one thing that people who are suffering from that are suffering from mental illness are expected not to act mentally ill. Like, do for me. You're making me uncomfortable. Well, what about the mental ill person, his needs and her needs and what they feel, and just constantly being ignored, constantly feeling like the upper class or the rich are constantly getting away with everything. This is just one sick joke that everybody gets to kick the small guy down and to beat the little guy up and take advantage. But what happens when that sick mind taps into the vein of what's really going on? You could try to heal the world, but it's so much easier to just set it on fire. This movie played into it was like a hero for the sick, a hero for the disturbed. And it's easy to be pushed into it. There were a lot of elements in this movie where you saw the original Joker from the TV series, the old TV show, where he would be in front of the camera. Hello, Gotham, it's the Joker here. And to Jack Nicholson, the way did they get a load of me moment. The why so serious? You saw a lot of this. If Heath Ledger would have lived, I could see him doing this movie, kind of a thing. There was people who, after the movie was over, we overheard somebody go, way better than what Heath Ledger did. Of course, you got to spend more time with him. There was even parts of this movie where you might even feel sorry for him, just like in the comic book, just like in the cartoon. But then you remember, it's the Joker. You feel sorry for him, and that's when he comes in and kills you. This man is the city of Gotham itself was a character, and it was pretty much him overcoming the villain. The real villain was the system. And he figured out how to survive it and overcome it and conquer it, which in a lot of situations you would hear that and you would go, congratulations. But in this situation, it's the most dangerous thing that could ever happen in the world. There's a lot of surprises and a few name drops in there that you're gonna love. You're gonna have a good time at this movie. You're gonna be shocked. It's gonna scream at everything that you think about when it comes to right and wrong. It's gonna challenge you. It's gonna make you. It's gonna take your comfort level, and it's just gonna swallow it, chew it up for 2 hours, and spit it in your face in the third act. This movie is a cannibal of a movie. It's going to devour you. It's gonna jar you, and of course you're gonna think about things like Jared Leto. You're gonna think about Heath Ledger and things like that. There's no comparison to any of the other Jokers. The closest is obvious. It's going to be Heath Ledger. Here's the thing. The thing that made Heath Ledger's Joker so scary was because even Batman could not figure out who this guy was and where he came from. The beautiful thing about Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is that you know exactly who he is. You learn more than you ever thought you'd want to know. Then you laugh with him, you laugh at him, you feel sorry for him, you hope for him, you care for him. Then you fear him. He puts you through way more. Heath Ledger just was a mystery. He was a question mark. He was chaos from the unknown. Joaquin Phoenix was the monster from within. And it's too hard to compare these things. Depending on what you're more susceptible to and what scares you the most will determine on who's the better Joker out of Jack Nicholson and all these things. I say don't play that game. Take this for what it is, because it's going to drive you crazy. I want more. Joaquin's not going to give you any more. It's over. That's it. This is it. This is all you get. And that's fine. But that's what's going to keep you up at night. At least with Heath Ledger, you know there was a chance for a franchise. It was a little bit more. He was going to give you more. But now this guy has, besides Mark Hamill, has now on screen played this character longer that took you more through this with this character than anybody else in history. More than Jack Nicholson, more than Heath, more than anybody else. You got to see him vulnerable. You get to see him have hope. You get to see him have love in his eyes, love in his heart. You get to see him feel betrayed. You get to see him feel rejected. You get to see him try and try and try until it kills his spirit. And then you get to see his resurrection, his rise from the ash when he finally puts the makeup on and becomes who he's always been all along. You get to see him born in a way. And that's going to take you through a lot of emotional hurdles and a lot of mental gymnastics. It's gonna mess you up. Like I said, this movie's a cannibal. It's going to devour you, and this movie is going to take you. But you're not going to go for along for the ride in this movie. This movie's you're not going to jump into this movie's car. This movie is going to jump into you. You're the vehicle. It's going to possess you, and you're going to love every second of it. As I did. But after you see it, let me know what you guys think. Put it in the box. How did this movie make you feel? And in comparison to any other Joker, did you see the other Jokers in there? Not just Heath, not just Jared, all of them. There's a lot of them in there. And tell me what scene made you think of this Joker or that Joker, and put it in the box below. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. And as always, guys, until next time, hey,